Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your in-depth reading for 2016. This is for Tauruses born between April 20th and April 30th. If you notice, there are three total videos on 2016 right now, three parts basically, and each one is for the I broke down Taurus into three separate parts, 10 sign, 10 days each. And those are the decans in astrology. I broke it apart like that to make these readings a little bit more accurate for every single sign. So like I said, there are three Taurus parts. The links will be down below, and the links will have the dates for, when you were born. Pick that date to watch that video. You can feel free to watch all three. I'm sure there will be pieces and parts that'll, that resonate with you, but this is again for Taurus born between April 20th and April 30th. So you start off with the Nine of Diamonds. Really great card. Definitely an earth sign card as well. Diamonds are all about earth signs and kind of being in your element. But the Nine of Diamonds is also about new stuff coming into your life, experiencing new things coming in, and having new experiences, new jobs, new business, even new relationships. It can bring all those things in. Nine of Diamonds really does, however, require you to step up to the plate. It's kind of one of those cards. It does ask you to become a leader, be more of a leader, speak up more, talk out more at work even, if you're at work, again, this is a work-driven kind of card, and even in business, kind of try to get yourself to be more noticed. Even if you're uncomfortable with that, that's what you need to do with the Nine of Diamonds. You need to stand out more. It's kind of more of a card of being more bold in life. That's what the card, it doesn't even ask you to do it. It kind of requires you to do those things, and you can accomplish a lot with the Nine of Diamonds. There's a lot of things that you can make happen with this card, because the benefit of the Nine of Diamonds as well is it makes you want to work. It gives you that feeling of wanting to work, so you kind of get that added benefit of feeling like you really want to move forward. Nines, you have two nines here, which is interesting, and nines ask you to let go of something. They ask you to let go of mostly old beliefs, things that you believe from the past. Even I've talked about this in the past as well with the nines. It can be imprinted beliefs that our parents put on us, the beliefs that we always said we would never believe, like those things that our parents believe, and we were like, oh, I'll never believe that, and then we end up believing that, of course, because of our parents. So letting go of old beliefs, letting go of limiting beliefs, things that no longer serve us, all about this card. And I think you will do that. You have the Ten of Spades coming up next, and Ten of Spades is definitely about letting go of things, having things taken away from you. With the Ten of Spades, I always say you're usually not too unhappy to see whatever it is that gets taken from you to go. Like, you're not upset that it leaves your life, whatever the situation may be. Sometimes this can be a legal situation leaving your life. Other times it can just be, again, letting go of old ideas. I kind of feel this in the past, and it comes up with the Tower, which people are always afraid of the Tower, but that comes up next, and I feel like they're just connected. They're kind of together, and again, it feels like this is mostly coming from the past. I feel like this has already happened, this separation, this separating from something, leaving something behind, or having something taken from you. But like I said, Ten of Spades, usually not too upset to see it go, even if it's a legal situation. Sometimes, with legal situations in this card, you have to settle, or, something like that. It's not like an ideal situation, but it gets that stress out of your life. So you're always like a lot happier to see that leave. And like I said, you're never too upset to see something under a Ten of Spades go. It's usually kind of like a more happy thing than anything. It's also a very powerful spiritual card. Spades have a lot to do with spirituality and being spiritual and all of that. So, you might have a big focus on spirituality this year, and that could be really important to you. Now, next you have the Tower. Again, the Tower is read as disaster and crazy things happening to you. And even, some people say having a piece of you break off. It's a pretty extreme card. It's hard to see, of course, on here, but there's like a piece of the Tower falling off up there. And even no matter how bad it may seem, of course it's always, you always end up better off, again, with this card, very similar to that Ten of Spades. That's why I said I think they're kind of like together. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think it'll be that extreme for you this year. And I think you've already seen kind of this breakaway from yourself. I think you've already seen a piece of yourself break off, or had a situation like this of something like twisting off and breaking off, and having to like kind of rebuild things, and all that comes up. So I think you've already experienced it. I wouldn't worry about it too much, with this card. But next you have the Queen of Diamonds, which is definitely Taurus, Earth sign, very good card, all about abundance and being the leader. Again, that's the second time that's come up. So you definitely want to branch out and kind of stretch this year and try your best to be a leader, to do whatever you need to do to kind of put yourself in the limelight this year, even, and take positions you normally wouldn't, or do things at work that you normally would not do to stand out, even if you want to hide in the background and you don't want anybody to notice you. Especially with nines. Nines are all about recognition. Don't do that this year. You have two amazing nines. Take advantage of it. Be recognized this year. Be the center of attention. Do what you have to do. I think for Taurus that can be difficult sometimes, but you definitely have to do it. You have to do it. Queen of Diamonds is also a great card to show up as for the entire year. Again, this is like an overview for the whole year. Queen of Diamonds, I always say, is really the card that should be called the CEO. Most card readers will call the King of Diamonds the CEO, but the King of Diamonds can make a lot of mistakes. He is very reactive. He just reacts to every situation that comes along. And he can react in anger, and that can make him make a lot of bad decisions that end up causing him to fail in business and in life in general. But when you come up as a Queen of Diamonds, not only is she able to react very quickly, but she doesn't make those same mistakes. She doesn't act from that place of anger or anything like that. She makes cool, level-headed, smart decisions that lead to her success. So you have that ability this year as well. Next, you have that second nine I was talking about, Nine of Hearts, all about getting things that you want. Nine of Hearts is traditionally read as a wish card, kind of like the Nine of Cups in the tarot. Represents a wish that you've been having. It can be multiple things too that you've been hoping would happen, and this could be them happening, those things happening. It's also a very hard working card as well. Kind of, again, like I said, I think you're going to be working very, very hard this year, very diligently. And also I'm getting that you're going to be working with more purpose as well. You're not going to be scattered or anything like that. It's like, it seems like everything you're working on this year is very, purpose driven. There's a purpose behind it, and it's very specific. You're not like, doing any back and forth things this year, so that's good as well. But this is a wish, getting something that you wish for. It can be even a lot of love coming into you, feeling a lot of love, which is nice. Even if you have a partner and all that, you can still feel more love from your partner. But opportunities to meet somebody as well if you're single with this card. And it's another card of ambition, so it does, again, make you work very hard. You have a lot of hard-working cards. The 10s are all about doing tons of work, so it definitely seems to be a work-focused year for you. Next, you have the Two of Clubs, all about letting go of those fears that you have. Again, remember what I was saying about stepping into the limelight, making sure you get yourself noticed. That's what's going to be important for you this year, is getting noticed and being comfortable with that, and being comfortable having, having people have you be the leader. I don't even know if I said that right, but, being the leader, you need to get comfortable with that. Two of Clubs is a card of great success and recognition. However, it requires you to face some of your fears, and it requires you to do some things that you might not exactly be comfortable with, and having to get over that. Literally, that's the only way to say, it. I know that might sound harsh, but, it's like you might have some opportunities come along where maybe it's just outside of your comfort zone, or, even what I'm getting now is that it might even be against some of your beliefs to do some of these things. But when you really boil down, the end result of doing something that makes you uncomfortable, even if it goes against your beliefs, it's like you kind of have to weigh that out, and, you have to say, you know what, yeah, this situation requires me to do something that I'm not 100% comfortable with, I don't necessarily want to do, but in this situation, normally I tell people to go with your gut, go with your morals, do what's right for you. But with this card coming in, it kind of says, you know what, you might have to just kind of step outside and take a step back and say, you know what, I'm not really comfortable with this, but I know I need to do it. And that's just what you're going to have to do with this card. And the same thing with fear. If you're fearful about doing something, normally the fears from this card come from the past. They're things we've already experienced. So that's where the fear comes from, because, we've already had something bad happen in a similar situation. So we get that, like, kind of, we jerk back. If that happens, you need to face that fear, because now this card's coming in. It's like the universe saying, hey, we're giving you that opportunity again. You need to face it, and this time you need to face your fear. If you can overcome it, you will see success with this card. And finally, you end with the Lovers. Really great card. It can do with the love. A lot of people think it does, but really it's about multiple paths. I've always read the Lovers as multiple paths, having to make a choice. And again, it comes, that makes a lot of sense with this Two of Clubs. Making a choice that's important to you. And what I would say, I think what is really important for your whole entire reading, if I put all the cards together, it's like you're going to be presented with some choices this year. You need to look like down the road. And you need to think about what is going to happen way far down the road for you. If you make those decisions, two decisions. Like I said, with the Clovers, we're frequently presented with like two decisions, and you need to look down the road on both of those decisions and say, okay, well, this way, that's probably going to lead me to this, and then this other way is going to lead me to this. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm afraid of this path, but it's the best path, and that's what you need to do. So thank you for watching, Taurus. Definitely, again, feel free to watch the other two Taurus videos. I mean, they'll probably still resonate with you. And thank you again.